So this is me when I started drumming. Lonely, don't know what I'm doing, and lost. And this is me now. But how did I come to this point in 2 years? And how can you start and become like me? Well, let's see how you can come to my level, but with 1/4 the time. And I'll get to how you can do that in just a second. Now, let's start by making one decision. Will you be enjoying drums 1 year further down the line? Yeah, probably, right? Okay, what about 5 years? Will you still be enjoying drums? 10? Maybe even 2 decades? 2 decades, like 20 years? Will you still be enjoying drums? Probably not. But if you said under 1 year, then, I mean, let's be honest here, you're probably not gonna do too much progress in drums because drums are a long-term thing. Okay, so let's say that you want to play drums and you're excited, but where do you even, start? And also, what about your drum set? Like, without a drum set, you can't really play anything, right? Well, if you're watching this video, you either have a drum set already and you're excited to start, or you don't have a drum set yet. And actually, I don't know if you know about this, but one specific kind of drum set actually makes your progress worse. The one which makes your progress better is the acoustic drum sets. Now, you might have heard the acoustic drum sets, you might say they're pretty expensive and everything, but they're actually not. If you compare their prices to electronic drums, which I'll get to in a second, acoustic drums and electronic drums, they do have a similar price. And acoustic drums are just a bit more higher. But if you can get the acoustic drums, then your progress will be much better than if you bought electronic drums at first. Because as a person who started off with electronic drums, I can say that it made my progress worse. And here's how. So electronic drum sets are usually, they feel like you're hitting a rubber plastic sort of thing with a wooden stick. And I'm gonna say this, and this is very important. Your drums need to have a good feel. And what does a good feel mean? Well, a good feel means that it feels good to hit the drum set. So different people have different tastes in this field. For example, I might like hitting a soft surface while my friend over there can hitting a hard plastic. But usually, and yeah, you might want to figure that out. But I would say that if you are just starting out on drums, have never bought a drum set, please buy an acoustic set. Your future self will thank you. So just save up a little bit more money and buy the actual goddamn thing instead of e-drums. And I don't know, no one in the drumming community said this, but I think it's a very, very, very important thing if you don't want your progress to, decline as in the years. Okay, so once we decided that drums are gonna be our instrument and we're gonna buy drums, it's gonna be our real G. Now we have to figure out, wait, how the fuck do you actually play? So now there are a lot of, and I mean a lot of tutorials out there teaching you your first drum beat. But if you look at their tutorials, bro, it's so fucking boring. So what I managed to do was actually teach you this cool ass drum beat that will impress your friends. You will learn it in literally a quarter of the time. So every normal, drum video out there does 2 and 4 beat, the typical 1, 2, 3, 4. But I'm gonna teach you something different, and this will literally make you 50% better than other beginner drummers. So here's the beat. I'm gonna go to my drum set now. Now, it will require a lot of time and patience to do this. And I know this sounds so like wishy-washy, you know, oh yeah, being patient, guys, be patient. If you take this seriously, okay, being patient is really fucking important in drumming because you're gonna fail like 80 million times before you actually manage to get one fucking drum beat, and then you'll fail again. And then eventually over time, you'll start to like fail a lot more less in learning drum beats, and then eventually not too much. So it's very, very important to be patient because I have been drumming for 2 fucking years and I fail loads of fucking times, dude. And don't skip this part of the video. I know, like, I know you will, but like, dude, please remember this. This will really help you. Be fucking patient because this is a long-term game. You're not playing a 90-day learning drums challenge or whatever. This will take you so much time. You need to know that before you start this. This is a long-term journey. So now the challenge is actually learning this drum beat that I showed you earlier. And now typically you are taught like note by note. So what that means is like you literally like look at the fucking notes individually, like beat by beat basically, and you like have to figure out like how the shit goes and everything. But if you do this and apply this thing that I'm gonna tell you right now in just a second, you will literally learn it in a quarter of the time. All right, so here's what you do. So first, you're going to get your drum beat, this drum beat that I showed you earlier. Now we're gonna take that and we're going to divide it into parts. And don't skip this part. I know it sounds a lot like fucking cliche and all of that, but listen, this will help you so much. So you take this drum beat and you see the patterns inside this drum beat. And then once you're like, wait a minute, this pattern is repeating again on the beat 3. And so you can like kind of figure it out and everything. And then once you've like seen the patterns, so in our drum beat, for example, these are the patterns, and you can group those patterns and like call them A, for example. And then the other patterns you can call B, for example. And then you learn those parts individually at first, and then learn all the parts of the drum beat, groove, whatever you want to call it, and then combine them together. And then you just learned it like pretty much effortlessly, because learning it smarter is better than learning it harder. So congrats if you've learned this beat, and if you didn't, then watch the video again and see where you messed up and everything. And I bet that you did mess up, and that is totally fine. Actually, you should have messed up, because I believe that if you didn't mess up, then go back and mess up, bitch. Like, no. But like, if you didn't mess up, that's not normal. You need to mess up in order to try again and make it work. Okay, so now that you know this information, you're literally 95% better than every single beginner drummer out there. But that's not it, because as teenagers, I know this video is like targeted towards teenagers, and that's because I'm gonna show you this right now, which you can apply to literally practice drums every single day without failing ever. So here's what you're gonna do, and this is gonna be a really, really simple thing, but I want you to try this tomorrow. And what you're gonna do is, so we all have schools, right? Or if you're working right now, then you have work, right? So instead of like coming back home and then eating some things and then watching some YouTube, oh wait, I forgot to practice drums, oh no, and then delay it to the next day, which I know you will do that. So we want to develop a good habit. And if you develop this before even starting drumming, then dude, like, you're set up for success in drumming. So here's what we want to do. We're gonna make a habit so that we can practice every single day. And how we do that is actually really, really simple. All you need to do is when you come home, immediately go to your drum set. Don't do anything else. Don't speak to anyone. Just straight up, like, go to your drum set. And what this will do is after a week or so, your brain will automatically make it a habit. So when you come home, you don't even realize it, but your brain automatically goes to the drum set to practice. And that can be very powerful. I wish I knew these tips when I started out as a beginner. So that's why I passed these tips to you. And right now, you don't realize it, but if you apply these and actually take action, you're literally 99% better than all the beginner drummers out there. I can say that with confidence. Like, genuinely, like, you are better than me when I started out, and loads of other beginner drummers. And lastly, I want to also talk to you about learning. Now, I know this might sound like, oh, learning, yeah, like, woo, learn about drums, but like, dude, go on YouTube and search how to play drums, or how to, like, search like drum content on YouTube and research about it every day. I want you to learn one new thing every single day about drums. And if you do this, I don't think you can be better than this. Like, if you learn every single day, you practice every single day, and you experiment, then you've literally solved this mystery of drumming. Now, lastly, if you're a teenager like me, you probably use social media a lot, like you're watching YouTube right now, bro. Like, so if you use social media a lot, did you know that there's actually, like, consequences, and social media can actually affect your drumming really, really bad. So if you want to see how social media affects your drumming, then click on this video on the screen, wherever it is. And yeah, I'll see you later.